All right, guys, 2014 Kia Cadenza. This is a 6-cylinder engine. What we're gonna do on this car is we're gonna change the thermostat, and just want to show you before anything. The customer brought in this car. This car overheats, and I noticed over here there's a lot of spillages here, and you see a lot of antifreeze over here. So this thing is pushing back the antifreeze. Usually when it pushes back, it's a thermostat. If your car is overheating, you know. I tested this car for a little bit. What I noticed was the fans come on and the pipes are hot and cold. So sometimes that thermostats get locked up. You know, I let this car run for a good 40 minutes and everything checks out. The fans come in, and it was low on antifreeze. I pressure tested it. What I used was this snap-on pressure test tool. What I did was I put this on this and I pumped the pressure into it about 20 psi. The pressure did not drop. I did not see any leakages, and we can see the pump right there clearly, water pump, and I do not see any leakages on water pump. All right, and what we'll do is we recommended a thermostat on this car, so we're gonna drain the antifreeze and we're gonna change the thermostat. All right, so I'm gonna show you a few things what you need to do if you have 2014 Kia Cadenza V6, how to change a thermostat if your car is overheating. All right, let me move some of this stuff back and we'll come right back. All right, guys, first what we're gonna do is I'm gonna remove this right here. This is where the air flows into the intake, and I'm gonna remove this cover here. So all you do here is you lift this up. This comes right out. This cover just is held in by these little grommets. All right. So I'm gonna put this to the side. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna remove this thing right here. All right. This is where the air goes into the air filter housing, and then it goes into the engine after it bypasses the air filter. So let me put my light on this side so we can see a little better, and I'll put on my lights. All right. So we're gonna take this number 10. We're gonna remove this and this. 2 bolts, all right? Once you have these 2 bolts in, you just simply lift this up and out. This comes right out. Put your number 10 somewhere safe. And now I'm gonna take my camera. We're gonna zoom in a little bit. Right here is a thermostat housing, all right? So you have like 3 bolts on this. One here, one down there, one to this side here. You can see it from this angle right here. All right, so this thermostat housing is held in by 3 bolts. And before that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna drain the antifreeze, all right? Make sure you drain the antifreeze before you open this, all right? Because then you're gonna have a big mess, big spill. Even once you open this, there's gonna be some antifreeze that's gonna be falling, but that's what you gotta do, all right? So let me drain the antifreeze and we'll come right back. All right, guys, to drain the antifreeze on this car, what we need to do is we need to remove this cover down here. This cover has a whole bunch of number 10 millimeters on all these holes. So what I'm gonna do is let me go get my number 10 with the drill. And what we'll do is let me fix my light. I know it's dark down here, but I'm gonna get my number 10 and we're gonna remove all these bolts. All right, that's the number 10 there. Another number 10. All right, let me get the other 2. There's 2 more left. There's gonna be some antifreeze on top of this because I spilled some. I was trying to open the drainer from the top, and I was trying to get the fluid out from the top, but here it is. We have the drainer, the cover out. Let me move this cover out of the way. All right, so what we're gonna do next is, if you come across right here, down here, this is where the antifreeze is gonna come out from, and right up there is the drainer right by the AC line. Let me see if you guys can see it. I don't want to have to remove another cover, but it's up there, right? This is a big cover, but I'm not gonna remove this cover because I can reach in there. So I'm gonna put my hand in there, and the antifreeze is gonna start coming from right here. Just be careful the car is not hot. Alright, there you go. The antifreeze started to come down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this car back down. You can see the antifreeze coming out from this drainer, and I'll show you where the drainer is from up top. Alright guys, if you need to know where the drainer is, like I was showing earlier, I removed the cover in the bottom. You do have to remove that cover. The drainer is all the way down here. This is the radiator cap right here. If you look all the way down there, you're gonna see a white little thing right there. Right at the bottom of the radiator, it's like a screw-on thing. You just unscrew that, and the antifreeze will start to come out. And also, once you have that loose, you can remove this cap. What this cap is gonna do is it's gonna release air. So the drainer, you can see the antifreeze in there is already moving down. It's falling in there. It's going down. And once you open this cap, it's gonna release some air for the system to get some air, and more antifreeze will start to fall down there. So as you can see, antifreeze is coming down. We're gonna give this a good 10 minutes and let this drain out. And then we'll remove this thermostat housing and we'll put in a new thermostat. Alright guys, what I did was I opened the drainer up a little bit more. Now you can see a bigger flow of this antifreeze coming down. Alright, let's give this good 10-15 minutes for this bucket to fill up. And once it's full and empty, the system is empty, we'll close that drainer up and we'll move on to removing the thermostat. Alright guys, I got my antifreeze drained out and we're gonna remove this housing here. I'm sure there's more antifreeze in here, so what I did was I put a funnel down here. The blue thing you see is a funnel. It's a pipe that runs all the way down to my bucket in the bottom. I have a small little container. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove number 10 here. I'm gonna loosen them first. There's one here, there's one down here, and this one is like a triangle, right? And all you need is number 10 with the ratchet. Alright, first what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loosen 3 of the bolts. Ignore all the noise in the background. Alright. Alright guys, let me go get an extension. I'm gonna need an extension. I'll be right back. It'll take me 1 minute. Alright, so I got a little extension with this because in the back I'm not getting a good angle. Alright, that's much better. Alright, so I got that out. And what I'll do next is I'll remove the bolt up here. And then I'll remove the one down here. And once we have this loose, I'm not gonna take off this top bolt. Because I'm gonna use this bolt and it's gonna hold everything together for me. Make sure you get all the antifreeze to go inside your funnel. It's jammed up a little bit. Alright, give me a moment and I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get a flathead. Alright guys, so what I have is I'm gonna let it open up a little bit with a flathead screwdriver. It's jammed up a little bit in the bottom, you know, over time. And I'm gonna let the antifreeze fall out slowly. Alright guys, It was tough to get this thing out. It was seized up in there, but I got it to come out. All right, there's the thermostat. All right, here's the thermostat. So we're gonna replace this, and I'm waiting for the piece. Once I get the piece, we'll put this in. All right, we'll be right back from here. Alright guys, what I did was I removed this upper radiator hose so it give me more clearance, because I wanted to clean this up. It was already clean enough, but I cleaned it anyway, wiped it down a little bit, and plus that bottom bolt broke off, so I took it off with the vice grip. Right, so there it is. Alright, I'm waiting for the thermostat. Once we get the new thermostat, we'll put that in. Alright, so just hang on. Alright guys, so we're back. We have our thermostat, and we're gonna install this. Like I said, we have that open. That's where the thermostat is gonna go. And we took off the hose, and here's a new thermostat. I ordered a Essene brand, and this is a little better than the regular ones. The part number on this is THY002. All right, there's all the information you need. And inside this you have a thermostat and a seal. Let's put that box away. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna install the seal first onto the thermostat housing. To the thermostat, and then we're gonna take this thermostat, put it into that housing where it sits, and there's the two thermostats we have. All right, my camera turned off, but it's back on. Let me put this away. There's the thermostats. All right, notice this little thing on the old one and the new one. All right, and this one, I remember it was facing up a little bit here, right into that little groove. So meaning this little valve has to be up. All right, what it does is it bleeds air from there. You know, air always stays on the high point, so it comes out through there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this thermostat in the same direction, just like that. All right, there it is. Once we put that in, it stays in there. Just want to explain to you, this end goes into the engine block. All right, it won't even fit this way, because it won't even go into the housing that goes into the top. Right, but I know in some cars you can put it the wrong way, but this one, just pay attention to how you took it out. So we're gonna put it back the same way, but this end goes into the car. All right, so we're gonna put this into the engine, to the engine side. That's where the hot temperature is gonna be. It's gonna hit this side, and once it gets hot enough, it's gonna release the pressure, and it's gonna release the coolant to circulate, and the engine will get a cooler coolant. All right, so there we have it. All right, let me mount my light right here so we can see better. And make sure you clean the surface if it needs to be cleaned. You know, this is plastic. Usually they don't corrode, but if it's metal, it will corrode. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna grab my bolts. Once I hold this in, I'm gonna put one of the bolts on. So this goes just like that, and I'll take one bolt. I'll install the one bolt. I'll get it as much as I can get it in there so it can hold for me. Then I'll take the second bolt. Put the second bolt in the bottom. I can barely get my hand in there, so let me try to put my ratchet in there. It's a little corroded. I remember this one. This is the bolt that broke off, but I removed it by heating it a little bit. Even though this is a plastic, I heated it very gently. All right, I aimed it in an angle where only the bolt will get hot. I got that in there a little bit, but I'm gonna put this one in so it can hold evenly for me, and then I'll just continue tightening the bottom bolt and get it flush just like these, because I have not got that one flush because it's a little corroded inside the hole. I should have cleaned it, but it's all right. It's only into the hole. It's not where the thermostat seal is sitting, so it's not gonna leak. All right, there you go. I got it. You only have to go a little bit through it. After that, it grabs itself, and now I can just turn it by hand. The coolant makes it slip. Let me just keep doing it with the ratchet because the coolant is making everything slip. Alright guys, I got that flush. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tighten all 3 bolts evenly, letter by letter. Alright, that's gonna lock up the seal inside. Alright, there you go. I have it in spot and it's locked in, all 3 bolts. Alright, I'm gonna come right back. Alright guys, so we have the thermostat in there. Just double check everything, and after that what I'll do is I'll take my upper radiator hose, alright, and I'm gonna install the upper radiator hose. Even though I didn't show you guys this, I took it off so I just could get a better view at the thermostat housing. Alright, and then you can use a needle nose or clamp plier to get this clamp onto the hose. All right, there you go. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna angle this a little bit to the side. I just want to get it back to the same spot where it was at originally because it made its grip already there. There you go. All right. And what I'll do now is I'm gonna put some pressure in this just to check it there's no leakage. Make sure you close your drainer and put the cover in the bottom, which I did earlier. I did not record that because I had to take this car off the lift and I bring it to the bay here and to continue the job. All right, so let's move over. We'll pressure test this next. All right guys, so to pressure test I'm gonna be using this coolant pressure test. It's made by Snap-on, and what we're gonna do is, let me take my camera to this side here and go up the camera a little bit so we can get a better view, or down. There you go, that's better. So first you need to find a adapter out of this kit that fits here well. So this one is pretty good here. They're like different sizes by length and opening of it. All right, like thermostat cap, I'm sorry, the radiator caps are different sizes, just like that. All right, and then on top we put on this and we screw this on a little bit and we release the load so it can seal. What I can do is what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna put about 20 psi in there. There's no antifreeze in the system yet. There's gonna be just air test, and these caps usually hold about 14 to 20 psi, the max. After that it releases it. So you don't want to put too much either. You don't want to blow any weak points like seals, radiator, or heater core. All right, so what I'll do here is, let me see if I can get my light this side a little bit. All right, it's at 20 psi. I don't know if you can see it, but that's at 20 psi. And what I will do is We'll just let this sit for a little bit, and we'll just wait. Alright guys, I gave a little bit more pressure and I just want to make sure, and I don't see any leaks in the system, so this is good. And what I'll do is we'll leave it alone and we'll put antifreeze in it, and we're gonna bleed the system with the Airlift tool, so there's no air in the system, you know, it bleeds it, that way that we have no issues. Alright, I'm gonna get that tool and then I'll set it up and I'll show you guys step by step. Before that, I just want to release the pressure here so you can hear it. There you go, right? They had a lot of pressure in there, so this is good. I'll remove my tool, take this tool away because we no longer need it. Alright guys, got my tool removed and I got my other tool here. This is a cooling system tool. What this does is, it's called the Airlift. Alright, what this does is it sucks out, it vacuums all the air out of the system. You're gonna see these hoses collapse. Both of these hoses are gonna collapse, and if there's any other rubber hoses for the cooling system, it's gonna collapse, and it's gonna suck out every little inch of air out of the system. And you need an air line. You need a compressed air to use this tool. So to use this tool, you're gonna need I need a rag a little bit. Alright, because we used it before and it has a little bit of antifreeze on it. So let me just clean this up. And alright, just give me a moment. I want to take off this little sticker so we can see on the screen what's going on. The screen has a little sticker. You know, we used this tool several times, but nobody bothered to take off this little sticker off the screen. Now the glue is all sticking there because nobody ever took it apart, but that's alright. I'll clean this up later. Trying to clean it up, it's just getting messier. I'll be right back. Alright, let me go clean this and I'll be back. Alright guys, I got the screen cleaned. It looks a little rusted in there because we don't use a lot of this. You know, it only gets used for a season like summertime, and if there's any issues in winter with cars. Alright, so this tool comes with a lot of adapters, such as these right here. Let me show you little fittings. It has like a little fittings. What happens here is this is gonna sit inside just like that, and it's gonna stop the air from, what it's gonna do is it's gonna stop the air from being sucked from this system, because this needs to be blocked off. Or you can block this hose with something. It's up to you, but this little thing goes right here and it's gonna sit inside the system here. And once you have it there, all you're gonna do is, let me get my light so we can see better. This way it's much better. It's not better because it's blinding the camera. Put it a little farther away. There you go. I think that should be good enough. Alright, so this goes in here. We're gonna lock this up. When you turn this, that rubber is gonna open up. It's gonna squeeze and hold the pressure. All right, just like that. It shouldn't come off. I'm gonna go get this little line here. It comes with like 2 lines. All right, this is the one that's gonna bleed the system. This line does not have the filter on this end, and this is the other end. This is the both end. It's gonna connect. This piece is gonna connect in here to this here. Let me bring this over to this side so you can see it much better. All right, so I'll connect this here. This works just like a air fitting line. You pull this, put this in. All right, like I said, it's a little rusted because we don't ever use it unless we have a cooling system job. So the other end, you can either dump it into this reservoir, because sometimes it shoots out little particles of coolant, whatever's in there. And next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna collect. Oh my God! All right, let me just stick this down here. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna close this. All right, it was open. All right, now guys, pay attention to the cooling lines as I open this to suck out the air from the system. You see the lines are collapsing? All right. If there's a leak in the system, these lines are gonna come back. All right, if there's a leak in the system, the lines will open up on their own. You know, you could check the system this way. Let me come across. You're gonna see this line is collapsed as well. You see this line right here? The lower radiator hose is collapsed. This is collapsed. And meaning by collapse, all the vacuum, all the air is out of the system right now. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take off this line here, this clear line here. I'm gonna leave this alone here. And this tool comes with another line. It has a coolant inside a little bit. Let me get my rag. And this line is gonna connect here. Same way like the other one was. It also has a valve that opens and closes. And we'll connect that just like that. Let me move my rag out of the way. And we have an antifreeze here. What we're gonna do is I am gonna take this, the filtered side, and I'm gonna dump it into the antifreeze bottle down here. I'm by myself, so if you have another person to help you, that's better. So you can, one person can monitor the coolant. But what I'll do is I'll move my camera here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this valve, and then I'm gonna open this valve, and you're gonna start seeing coolant flow inside. And this line, if you can pay attention to it, it's gonna uncollapse as the system gets filled with coolant. All right, here it comes. All right, let me close that. Something's wrong here. It's sucking air from here because it's out of the angle. Like I said, get help from a second person. There you go, that's better. Just make sure that antifreeze does not finish off from the bottle. Once one bottle goes in, get the second bottle. Connect it. Alright, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check on my antifreeze next. And I'll be right back. Let me check my second bottle, connect my second bottle. Alright guys, I got my second bottle connected, and I put it into a clear bottle so I can see if the bottle empties out, because I don't want no air in the system. Alright, so here it comes. Alright, so going, and it's almost done. You see the line is still collapsed, and it's going little by little. We'll give it a few minutes, and it should finish up by now. There you go, that's good enough. It's not sucking no more, and we're done here. And let me just take off this cooling system, and then we'll come right back. We'll put the radiator cap on, and then we'll be finished. Alright guys, so I'm pretty much done here. I took off my tool, I put the cap back on. Alright, After you're done bleeding it that way, if you're doing it that way, make sure you fill off whatever the car more needs. Top off the reservoir. You see the reservoir is topped off. You can shake it, look at it. Sometimes it's dirty, it looks like it's full, but it's not really full. So before we close out this job, don't forget to put this back in. Right, so with this, it's simple. You just take this, align it at that end, and it should go right in, just like that. And then we're gonna put the two number 10s on this end right here. All right, let me get my number 10s. Line it first, put in the bolt, and tighten it. All right, after that, just make sure you pick up all of your tools. Take everything off. The old thermostat, the box for the thermostat, my tools, all this stuff I'm talking about. If you have stuff like that on the car. All right, let me put this to the side. And after that, just wipe off anything extra. I know I have to put a bolt on this little hose right here. I'll do that later once everything is complete. And don't forget to put the cover on. Alright, this cover goes on just like that. And you can push it down and you're complete. After this, guys, make sure you check the fan if it comes on, alright? Before you release the car, just let the car run for like half an hour, a good half an hour. Put the heat on inside. The heat should be nice and hot. And just wait till the fans come on 2 cycles. Okay, the fan should come every time the fan comes on. That means the thermostat opened up, hot coolant got into the radiator, it cooled off with the fan, and then it got hot again. After the fan shut off, the thermostat opened again, and the fan came on to cool off the radiator so the coolant can cool down. That's what that means. So thermostat opens, hot coolant goes into the radiator, fan comes on and cools off the coolant, engine cools down. So it does that cycle twice, and by then it's gonna suck in any extra antifreeze from the reservoir. I'll suck it in there, and after that you can let the car cool down for another 20-30 minutes and double check the coolant, and that should take care of everything. The car should not overheat. And test drive it, take it on the highway. Just don't let the car overheat, don't kill the engine. All right, cooling system is a little complicated, and sometimes you had to start with the thermostat. You know, you don't want to rush to, you know, say it's a bad water pump or bad radiator, and bad engine, bad head. You don't want to rush to any of those things, all right? So that's it, we're done. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.